Hey babe, what you doing?
Hey Heather. So I'm actually O2 cleaning a valve. Got a customer here. He's got these two cylinders here below you. We just O2 cleaned the cylinders yesterday and got them really good and dried out. And now I'm O2 cleaning his valves as well, so that when I go to fill this cylinder, or anytime a fill operator fills a cylinder, we won't have some type of big fire explosion. What's up, guys? It's Brian again from Lake Kicker Scuba and Marina. If you are new to our channel, do me a huge favor. Hit this little subscribe button right here and ding that little bell as well. That way you guys are going to be notified every time we upload new content. Now in today's video, we're going to talk about tearing down valves, cleaning valves, rebuilding valves, and even O2 cleaning valves. And hopefully this will help you or answer some of the questions you may have as far as how often it should be done and who should actually be cleaning the valves as well. But with that being said, let's jump into today's video and learn a little bit more about valves, O2 cleaning, and how often they should be rebuilt.
Hey babe.
Yes.
I have some questions.
Okay.
What is O2 cleaning?
So just like we do on a cylinder, O2 cleaning is a process of cleaning, say, valves or dive cylinders or scuba gear. And what we're actually doing during an O2 cleaning process is we're trying to eliminate hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons is that fuel source that can actually ignite say a fire during the filling process. And there's many different things can actually cause this, and hydrocarbons can basically come from anywhere, but a lot of times they come from basically the oil of our skin. It can come from debris in the atmosphere. It can even come from, say, little metal shavings within the valves or the cylinders itself. So basically we're getting rid of hydrocarbons so that when I fill a cylinder for somebody, I'm eliminating that chance of some type of explosion, especially when we deal with pure O2.
Okay. Another question.
All right.
How often should you O2 clean?
That's a really good question. So there's several different camps in the scuba industry that will give you different answers. I'm going to give you the answer that I was trained by, and in short, anytime you O2 clean your cylinder, you should be O2 cleaning the valve itself. And it's not a difficult process. It's really easy to do. You can use an ultrasonic cleaner for this. Basically what I do is I just use the same soapy solution that I use for the cylinder, I'm going to use on the valves. And I actually prefer not to use the ultrasonic cleaner here for a couple of reasons. One, these valves are nothing more than just soft brass, but they have been chrome plated. And the ultrasonic cleaner, although it does a great job in cleaning the valve itself, it can tear off that chrome plating. So I just prefer a clean old toothbrush, a soapy solution, and a little bit of elbow grease to get in here and clean it. And it's very important that when you do this, you should be wearing gloves as well. But once again, anytime you O2 clean a cylinder, you should as well be O2 cleaning both your regulators and your cylinder valves as well.
Okay. So another question.
All right.
How often should you clean a valve?
That's a great question, and my answer to you would be when it needs it. It doesn't have to be an O2 cleaning process. It could just be simple water, toothbrush, or just rinsing that valve off. Theoretically speaking, every time that we service a valve, or we service a cylinder, let's say once a year during a visual inspection, I'm going to test the valve itself. So I'm going to open and close the valve, make sure that there's no catches in it. I may even take off the valve knob. I'm going to check the little post in it. If you're curious what a post is, it's this little guy right here. And we've actually done a video on this as well, but I'm going to test to make sure it's straight, make sure that there's nothing damaged on it to where the valve can't operate smoothly. But anytime that I'm going to take it apart, I'm just going to simply rinse it off, even if it's just fresh, clean water, dry it out, put it back together, and we should be good to go. So theoretically, once a year, tear the valve apart, look at it, see if it needs to be cleaned. If not, put it back together, and you should be good to go.
Okay, I have another one.
All right.
How often should you rebuild a valve?
Very good question, and this is actually a two-part answer that I'm going to give you. So the industry will tell us about every 5 years when you send your cylinder off for a hydrostatic test, the valve itself needs to be rebuilt. And what we're actually doing during that rebuilding process is we're changing out the internal parts. So here I've got a little spring. This is the knob spring here. Of course, I've got the little post that we just talked about in the last question. But this is a little seat. And if you look at this seat right here, you'll see that seat's pretty much worn into. You'll see the little indentation there. And what can actually happen is over time, when people open and close their valves, if they do it too forcefully, they can wear that seat out. So about every 5 years, if you dive a lot, that seat's going to start to wear itself down. So it should be replaced about every 5 years. But in all honesty, if you're rebuilding the valve every year, you're going to know that it's going to work properly. And one of the things that we see a lot is customers will come in and they'll say that their valve is still leaking and they really had to crank down on that guy just to get it to quit leaking. Well, what the problem there is, it's that seat. Once again, if that seat wears out, the only way to get it to stop leaking is to either, one, continue to crank down on it, or two, just simply replace it. If you're replacing that, you typically are going to replace the rest of the parts during that process. So about once a year is a good time to rebuild it, but definitely every 5 years it should be rebuilt.
All right, last question.
All right.
Where can people learn more?
So here on our channel, Lake Hickory Scuba here on YouTube is a great resource. We've got tons of videos on cylinders and valves and things like that. But I would also encourage you to check out PSI and PCI Cylinders. You can just go to their website. This is where we get all of our training from, and they can train anybody. Not only do they train on how to service cylinders, they train on how to service valves, they train on how to O2 clean both, and they can also train you on how to do hydrostatic inspections as well. They got a 3-year certification process where every 3 years you get recertified, because as new information comes out, they are the industry leader on anything to do with cylinders and valves, and they are basically our go-to. We've been using them for years. We trust them, and we will continue to use them in the future. I will put all their information down below. Look up Mark there he's the owner there. Super nice guy, very knowledgeable, and he will take good care of you as well. But definitely check out their website for any and all information, including laws and other CGA gas laws that you may have to follow as a visual inspector. All right, guys, hopefully this video answered any and all questions you may have on O2 cleaning, rebuilding valves, how often it should be done, or should it just be done in general. One of the things I will close with, a lot of people will mistake an O2 cleaning and an actual cleaning process. They are two individual things. A cleaning process is typically just getting rid of debris and things like that. You don't even have to use water for that. You know, maybe it's just getting debris out of the orifice of the valve itself. An O2 cleaning, we're actually going in with a soapy solution and we're getting rid of those hydrocarbons. And make sure you're wearing gloves when you do this. We do put specialized grease in here too when we do an O2 cleaning, so that's something that we don't necessarily do when we just do a valve clean. But yeah, like I said earlier, check out PSI PCI for any and all information as far as valves, cylinders, hydrostatic tests, visual inspections. Those guys are absolutely great. I've been certified from them for many, many years. I will continue to get certified from them because I trust them, and I do believe they are truly the industry's leader. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down below and I'll try to answer it as quickly as I can and as best as I can as well. But until our next video, take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.